Perhaps you could explain what is the meaning of the word dasa for someone who's not knowing this.
The Indian tradition, anyone dedicating himself for spiritual work is very often called a dasa. So some children decided to stay back. They didn't go back home. They wanted to stay on with the school. So these children were called the acharyas. And complete freedom was given to them to go around and spread the work and to recruit people for the work. These became models, and seeing them, people were inspired to become like them. They came and joined the movement. And these acharyas trained those people and called them the dasas. So ever since, it has been an independent body of people. They make the rules, they manage their affairs, and they do everything about themselves by themselves. I and Amma, we have nothing to do with it.
I understand that there was some years in the 1990s when the dasas were traveling in India and teaching, and you were very much away from the world and people did not see you.
Yes, after the school was closed and the order was established, we went away to live in the city.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
You were not living in Jivashram?
No.
I see.
We went away to lead our own quiet life. And occasionally these people would come and meet us.
I see.
And we would give them some advice and suggestions, that was all.
I see. And how were you spending your day then, living in Chennai?
Well, I used to go for walks on the beach and spend time talking with Amma or with Krishna, that was all. And these people would go out and do the work.
I see.
So once in a month or so, I think they used to come and they used to give me a report as to how things are going. I was just leading my own quiet life.
I see. And then
I was not meeting the public or anybody.
I see.
I preferred to go for my evening walks.
Yes.
Spend time by the beach.
Yes.
And I had a good time.
What was the reason for that phase, Bhagwan?
I always felt that there was no need for me to come into public life. That I could, because I'm a married person, and I thought I could quietly live my life. And that the dasas could do all this work. So there was no need for me to really meet the public and talk to them. But because of certain political situations, I had to actually come out and meet the public.
Do you mind me asking what prompted that? What was the situation that caused you to come out?
The situation was because I was not meeting people. I became some kind of a mystery. And all kinds of rumors were floating, and the government felt extremely uncomfortable. So the government said, if you continue to remain a mystery, there will be a lot of problems. So come out into the open, you know. So I had to come out into the open.
And then I know that some courses started later in another area of Satyaloka, that I believe that the school was renamed Satyaloka. And then there were some big buildings made there.
Big buildings, yes.
What were those courses in those early times?
The kind of courses that we now do here, they were being held there at that time. So there were, I think, 3-day courses, 6-day, 10-day courses, all kinds of courses were going on, which these people used to conduct.
And this was only Indian people, or also there were Westerners?
There were also Westerners.
Yes.
There were Indians and Westerners. Both used to come there.
And how has everything unfolded since then? Because even when you came back into public life, I think it was towards the end of the 90s, but there's still been a tremendous explosion of your work since then. How has this happened?
Most of the work has been done by these acharyas and dasas. While I did not meet the dasas for the first 5 years, these acharyas used to come home and meet me, and they would discuss their problems, and they would seek guidance from me, and I would provide that. So my stand was that I would supply the spiritual power, and they would be the ones who would be applying it outside. So we used to discuss those matters. So the actual work was done by the acharyas initially, and then they were joined by the dasas.
I'd like to ask you a little more about Amma, because I know that Amma is revered in India as a tremendous saint. Not only as the wife of God, but actually also as God.
Yes.
And I understand she had quite a devotional following even before you got married.
Yes.
Can you say a little bit more about the power that comes through Amma?
We exhibit different kinds of powers. If somebody comes to me with a problem, my attitude would be, now I caught him now. So I'll do all my best to make him enlightened. And Amma's approach is more like that of a mother. Her argument with me is, don't waste your time trying to give me enlightenment. Let's help him out first. The poor man is struggling. This is not the time for you to talk about enlightenment. So we do have such differences. So in fact, what happened that many years ago, Amma's picture got into the hands of a few people and miracles were happening. And these people did not even know that she was married. So they were worshipping her in certain parts of northern India. And then when somebody told them that she was married, they became furious. They said, how is it possible? And then finally they had to be told, yes, there is a person called Bhagwan who's her husband. So she was functioning independently. And so the whole thing is hers is more a mother's love, But when both of us combine, it's very, very effective.
So you said sometimes that you have differences.
Yes.
Is there sometimes a devotee who has a problem and
Yes.
you want to take him into enlightenment and she wants to give him what he
Yes,
wants? Do you
yes,
sometimes have a quarrel about that, which way to go?
There is a quarrel, yes.
This must
For
be very good.
example,
Can we
when,
film this, Bhagwan?
Yes. Somebody could be having a financial problem. So I would say let it be in that condition for next 6 months.
Yeah.
Might be he'll come to his senses, we could make him enlightened. Amma would say that's too much. So while we would be arguing, Amma might suddenly bless him.
Yes.
And the person escapes.
I see. So she
Now,
usually wins the argument.
Yes. So in that case, I just go along with her.
Okay.
And sometimes I act faster than her and she goes along with me. But there are real differences.
Yes. So who wins most of the time?
Most of the time, it's Amma who's winning. Because Amma is generally quicker,
I see. It's the same in my house too.
I see.